yun po kasi wala naman pera gobyerno para ipagawa kayo lahat ng opisina na bago, di ba? So this is the long-term plan. But in the meantime, para naman yung mga informal settler nyo maging hindi sila natetense kasi nakikita ko po yan miski sa amin pag nagagawa ng plano natetense yung mga informal settler at saka kung ano-anong chismis ang lumalabas to the detriment of everybody. Kaya siguro gumawa tayo ng plano and then may long term, may short term, diba? Okay.
OJ Secretary noon ay si dating Vice President Chupisto Gingona. Sumulat po sa kanya, tinatanong, considering that there is already two failed public biddings, baka naman under the na umiira na procurement, baka pwede na negotiated sale. But the opinion of the DOJ Secretary then, there's only one way to dispose of the properties of the welfare bill, and that is through public bidding. That position was maintained by no less than the current Secretary of Justice, si Boying Rimulya, when last year, in the attempt of the OH to purchase na lang the National Center for Mental Health, sabi niya, wag niyo na ibenta yan, kami na lang ang bibili at for the in such amount that will be appropriated by law. Well, ang opinion ni Secretary Rimulya, isa lang talaga ang pamamaraan to sell it, public bidding, at yung disposition, ang sale ho niyan, sabi niya, is for yung proceeds to be for the purpose of developing yung kapakanan ng ating mga anak. Unfortunately ho, dahil di ho sa panahon na ito na dumami ang mga nakatira dyan, so much so na according ho, pag tinatanong ko ang si Kapitan Carlito Sernal na dito, ilan na ba ngayon ayon sa inyong survey, pamilya dyan, sabi niya hindi ho bababa sa mga 30,000. Alam niya naman ho sa welfare bill, pag sinabi isang pamilya, ang isang pamilya ay 5. So 30 times 5,000, so mga 150,000 ho ang we're just talking about Barangay Addition Hills. Ngayon, tuwing ho magkakaroon ng balita na ibebenta na ang welfare bill, whether bahagi nito, mental or etc., hindi ho talaga matawaran ang agam-agam at takot ng mga nakatira dyan. Dahil for many of them, iba dyan dyan na ho talaga nakatira. Iba dyan na tumanda, iba dyan na namatay. Talagang nagkakaroon sila ng agam-agam na ito na, papalayasin na ho tayo. At yun ho talaga nagiging problema ng mga tao dyan. Ngayon, ang problema ho ay kung mag-i-schedule na naman ho ng public bidding ang ating gobyerno, kahit ho magsama-sama itong 30 mil ng pamilya na ito, walang kapasidad to na makipag-bid dahil they cannot compete through bidding sa mga malalaki na mga developer company. And
interceder, wala nang bibili niyan. Sino naman bibili na developer? Magpapaalis ka ng 30,000 homes. Naku, you cannot do that.
Exactly, Madam Chair. At hindi lang yun, ba't naman sila unang-una, walang kapasidad ng pera. Pangalawa, bakit naman sila magsasama-sama ng pera? Samantalang ang gusto lang naman na bilhin 20 metro kwadrados o 30. So sabi niya, kahit nagawin mong magkano yan, kaya nilang bilhin yon dahil maliit lang ang ating pinag-uusapan. Kaya yun ho talaga ang pangarap ng mga taga-welfare bill dyan na kahit na maliit, na alam niyo naman ng kultura ng mga Pilipino, sabi lang kahit na maliit na amin pag-aari at nagbibigay ng tunay na dangal sa kanilang pamilya. Kaya ho, ang tingin ko ay panahon na pagbigyan na ang mga naninirahan doon ng kaparaanan na mabili ng yung kanila lang sa pamamagitan ng direct negotiated sale, hindi na sa pamamagitan ng public bidding. Yun naman hong HB 10015. Ang nangyari ho dyan, syempre, dahil dumadami ang mga naninirahan dyan, originally there's only one school in welfare bill compound, and that is the Jose Pabella Memorial School, which was established in 1925. But it was designed to cater to yung mga estudyante with behavioral needs, yung mga ano. But because wala. Kasi at the time dalawa lang naman ang high school namin sa Mandaluyong High School sa Jose Pabella. So, napilitan ng Jose Pabella to accept and to cater to normal students na wala namang behavioral problems. At hindi lang yon, dahil sa dumami, as I've said, kanina nga ho, ang sabi ko, ang naninirahan doon is 150,000 eh. You were just talking about Barangay Addition Hills. Meron pa hong mga naninirahan sa Pleasant Hills. Meron pa hong naninirahan sa Mauway. So, ang responsibilidad naman ho ng national at local government during that time, paaralin naman yung mga tao, mga bata na nandoon sa lugar na yon. Kaya in the meantime, marami na hong napatayo ng mga eskwelahan doon sa welfare built properties. Kasama ho ang 9 de Febrero Elementary School, Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, mataas sa paaralang Neftali Gonzales, Addition Hills Integrated School, Mandaluyong Addition Hills Elementary School, Senate President Neftali A. Gonzales, Jose Pabella Memorial School, at ang Mandaluyong College of Science and Technology. Ang problema ho, kung hindi rin ho ma-amend ng 5260, bahagi rin sila ng pagbinenta ang welfare bill properties, bahagi rin itong mga eskwelahan na to. Pero sabi nga, to reiterate ho, sinabi ni Secretary Boying Rimulya, sa kanyang opinion, ang mando ng pagbenta ng 5260 para gamitin ito to establish programs and projects for the welfare of Filipino children. So, akin ho palagay, ano pa ho kaya ang pinakamagandang maibibigay natin bilang mga regalo sa ating mga anak na will cater to their development, to their care, kung hindi ang mga educational institutions. Ang katunayan ho ay ang mga bata na nakinabang na sa mga nasabing eskwelahan na yan ay mahigit kulang-kulang kalahating bilyon na po. At sa kasalukuyan, about 80,000 na ang nakikinabang yan. Kaya ang amin hong dalangin ay mailabas na sa operation ng 5260 ang mga nasabing paaralan na ito para ho sa kapakanan lang. Hindi lang nung mga nakinabang na dyan, ng mga nag-aral dyan, kundi yung mga nag-aaral ngayon at yung mga nag-aaral pa sa mga darating na panahon. So dalangin ho namin, Madam Chair, na finally ay matugunan ho natin ang mga pangangailangan ng mga tao doon sa pabahay at doon ho sa mga eskwelahan para ho sama-samang nawawala ho ang agam-agam na mga mamamayan ho natin doon. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Neftali Gonzales II. We now acknowledge the presence of Senator J.V. Ejercito, who will provide us the quorum for this hearing. I would like to ask Senator J.V. if he wants to make a manifestation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Good morning to our resource persons, of course, to my former colleague and likewise my majority leader back then, the 15th Congress, Congressman Neftali Gonzales, Boyet, former Congresswoman Queenie Gonzales, of course, our Mayor, my Chairman in Wakwak Wolf, Ben Abalos, at ang iba pa na nandito ngayon na opisyalis ng barangay Addition Hills at mga iba pang agencies who are present. Of course, former Congressman Mark Sambar is here, my also a colleague in the 15th Congress. And Madam Chair, I'm very much familiar with this with the area because I passed here dahil kapitbahay po namin ang Mandaluyong, lalo na po ang Addition Hills. In fact, San Juan, may Addition Hills din po. Yung aming barangay, Addition Hills din po yung sa Mandaluyong, no? I always, of course, yan po yung lagi namin dinadaanan. And lalo ngayon, pag ako yung bike to work po, kasi ako dyan ako nadadaan doon po sa Martinez ba yun? No, sa Martinez hanggang papuntang Makati, hanggang po dito, papunta dito sa atin, sa MOA, tapos dito po, no? So naikwento ko na kung saan ako dumadaan. Oo nga eh, hindi, wala naman akong kalaban. Anyway, ang sana po maayos natin, no. I'm one with the city government of Mandaluyong, of course, the agencies on how we can redevelop and fix kung paano natin may ayos and redevelop Welfareville area, no, lalo na napakarami, 10,000 families yata ito. 30,000 families, and I'm very much familiar with this. Kasi nga po, ang problema po rito dahil nga po light materials, alam naman po natin, mga kababayan po natin, ang problema rito yung sunog taon-taon. No, if we can have a solution on this, probably we can all pitch in kung ano may tutulong, kung ano ba yung nakamagandang solusyon. Of course, we will get the mas alam po ng local government kung ano po yung pangangailangan and what's best for them, kasi po sila po yung nakakaalam. Anyway, doon po sa San Juan, nakwento ko rin po doon kasi nagkaroon kami ng malaking sunog din po doon in one of the biggest informal settler concentration, no, Barangay St. Joseph. Probably 15 years ago. Ang laki ko noon, halos 2 hektarya, 3 hektarya yata yun, about 2,000, hindi naman kasi laki, mga 1,000 families yata affected. And we were able to rebuild, nakapagtayo kami ng medium-rise housing, which was quite successful, together with NHA and the now DSHU, no, Department of Human Settlements. And but whatever the recommendation of the local government, of course, we will support kung ano po yung pinakamaayos. Being the principal sponsor and author of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, of course, I would like to see the redevelopment of these areas para may ayos natin. Alam ko po yan, si Cap Sernal, no? Lagi pag may sunog doon, tumutulong naman tayo lagi kasi nga yun na dapat natin maayos, no, kasi nga yung, of course, yung drainage system, lahat po yun, if we can do something about it, we're willing to listen and of course support, but of course in consultation kung ano yung marirecommend ng DSHUD, but of course we have to hear, of course, the local government and the people and the stakeholders, yung pong residents, no. Kasi hindi na rin po, Madam Chair, hindi na rin po iba sa amin ang Mandaluyong. Talagang kapitbahay na po namin yan. Talagang kapitbahay, no. So be rest assured that we'll support, of course, kung what will be better for the people of Additional Hills, Welfareville, and of course, the people of Mandaluyong. Of course, we will support. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Ejercito. I just want to share our experience in Las Piñas. May ganyan rin kaming lugar sa Las Piñas, yung Barangay CAA, owned by the government. So, ang ginawa, pinagbili sa mga residents, 30 square meter each. Ang binayad nila 500 pesos. That was 30 years ago. So ngayon, yung community, kasi yung 30 square meter maliit, marami silang anak. Yung mag-aasawa, dinadagdagan na isang floor. Kaya lahat ngayon meron na silang sariling condominium, 4 floors. Pero syempre, yung mga anak nung lumaki, nagkatrabaho, tumulong na rin sa pag-build ng Kaya, nakakatuwa, lahat sila may 4-floor condominium, 30 square meter ang lote. And then, syempre, ang gobyerno na kami na ang nagpagawa ng mga kalye, ng drainage, ng mga open spaces, kasi yun naman ang responsibility natin. Tapos, ngayon, yung kanilang 4-story, yung first floor, napapaupahan nilang tindahan, kumikita pa sila, tapos siguro yung nanay at tatay dun sa first floor kasi mahirap umakyat stair, yung anak tigi-tigi isang floor. So lahat sila buong pamilya with their families dun nakatira. So it's a good model also. In fact, ako po yun ang nagagalit ako pag sinasabi na kailangan condominium. Kung hindi kaya condominium, kaya lang magbayad ng lupa. Bakit mo pupwersahin sa condominium? At saka yung condominium, may pa yun, mas mahal yun kasi mahal yung building. Sabi nila ngayon, minimum 4,000, tapos may maintenance fee pa. Halimbawa, ang nakatira doon tricycle driver o vendor, kaya ba yun? Diba? So, sabi ko, okay rin yung condominium, pero papiliin nyo yung mga tao kung ano ang kaya nila. Kasi, saan natin dadalhin yung hindi may kaya? kung biglang gibain at tayuan ng condominium tapos hindi naman nila kaya yung condominium. So papiliin yung may gusto ng lote lang na mura, di lote lang, at yung gusto ng condominium, di mag-condominium sila, but never force the people into something that they cannot afford. Kaya yun lang ang maishishare ko sa iyo kasi I have the same personal experience in our city sa ganyang problema.
Ang problema lang ho kasi sa welfare bill property, may diretsong batas na nagsasabi na ang pag-dispose lang nito is pamamagitan ng public bidding. Kaya ho minarapat ko mag-file ng bill na to para alisin doon sa konsepto ng public bidding. Saka nakalimutan ko lang ho, Madam Chair, Madam Senator Ercito, na sa pag ano ko kasi nakalimutan ko lang doon sa 428 na sa adhikain kong maging social housing lahat yan para sa mga tao ay meron hong mga government, mga institutions doon, both local and national, na ayoko naman hong maisama doon sa, kaya ho I took the liberty of making an amendment at kanina ho ay nagbigay na ho ako ng kung if you find it na okay naman ho, then kung maisasama nyo ho at kung i-approve nyo ho ang bill at maisama nyo sa inyong as your amendment, then ako na ho ang bahala sa House. Patatanggap ko ho na amendment namin para hindi na ho tayo magbabaykan. Kasi nadon ho ang nadon ho, ito nilista ko na ho, ang mga nadon, ang nayong sa DSWD ho nadon na nayong kabataan, Sanctuary, Jose Pabella, tahanan ng iyong Pag-asa Center, natin dun ho ang Commission on Population, ang DOH Metro Manila Center, ang Neptali Gonzales Integrated Daycare at Senior Citizen, 9 de Febrero, Mandaluyong Addition Hills Elementary School, Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, Jose Pabella Memorial School, Addition Hills Addition Hills Integrated School, Mandaluyong College of Science and Technology, Mandaluyong City Medical Center, National Center for Mental Health at Correctional Institute of Women. Sabi ko ang aking doon ho sa pagdedeklara ng kung madideklar man ho na social housing na at libre na, hindi na kailangang through public bidding, mailabas lang po ito do sa provision ng bill na yon dahil ito ho ay pinakikinabangan ng ating national at local government po.
I just want to acknowledge Assistant Secretary Mark Sambar of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, or DSUD, Mr. Lucito Malyari, Development Management Officer, Presidential Commission for the Urban Poor, and Dr. Aline Mendoza, Schools Division Office, Mandaluyong DepEd. Okay, welcome to the hearing. So we will now hear from DNR with DSWD. They have a joint presentation. We will ask them to make a joint presentation.
Good morning, Madam Chairperson and all other resource persons. Ma'am, we have actually divided the presentation, the SWD and the NR. The SWD will touch on the historical background of the property, and then I will touch on the survey and maps to be presented later. So maybe it would be the SWD first who will present.
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Magandang umaga po sa kanilang lahat. Katulad po ng nabanggit po kanina ni Congressman, ang welfare bill property po ay nakuha ng Philippine government taon pong 1920s. Mula po sa mga nagbenta po nito, si Phil Whitaker at ang pamilya po ni Francisco Ortigas. Ito po base po sa pagtataya po ng DNR LMB, ito po ay binubuo po ng mahigit kumulang 111 hektarya, 1,111,429 square meters. At ito po ay binubuo po ng 14 lots na nasa ilalim po ng 11 titulo. At ito nga po ay kinapapalooban po ng iba't ibang opisina ng ating mga ahensya ng pamahalaan at ang opisina po ng ating Mandaluyong. And then noon po kasing nagkaroon po ng public bidding base po sa RA 5260, kung ito po ang susundin po natin noon pong kung hindi pa ako nagkakamali, 1983, 1987, 2003 at 2006. Although nag-failed po itong mga nasabing biddings dahil po sa iba't ibang kadahilanan. Sa DSWD po, ang amin pong mga centers na nakakapaloob po dito ay ang Josefa Bella Center, ang Sanctuary Center, ang Nayo ng Kabataan, at yun pong pinagtutulungan po ng DOJ at ng DSWD, yung IAC at TIP, yung tahanan po ng inyong pag-asa. At ang iba't iba pa pong ahensya ng ating pamahalaan, katulad po ng DOH, yung kanilang National Center for Mental Health, at ang DepEd, ang iba't ibang eskwelahan po na napapaloob po sa welfare bill property, ang DILG, ang Philippine Coast Guard. Under naman po ng ating LGU, may mga barangay halls at may mga daycare centers po na nandoon. Ang mga iba't ibang eskwelahan, mga integrated school, ganun din po yung mga local health centers po natin. Kung pagbabasihan po natin ang Republic Act number 5260 na nagawa po noong 1968, ang pagdidispose po ng welfare bill property ay through public bidding nga lang po, katulad po ng nabanggit po ng ating butihing congressman. At sa ilalim po ng nasabing batas, tatlo po ang nakakapaloob na committee na ahensya sa ilalim po ng Welfare Bill Trustee Committee. Ito po ang DSWD, ang Department of Environment and Natural Resources, at ang Commission on Audit. Lamang ang Commission on Audit po ay nagpahayag po ng kanilang posisyon na mag-i-inhibit po sila sa participation sa Welfare Bill Trustee Committee. Ito po ay sa kadahilanan na ang kanila pong mandato ay i-review at i-examine po ang mga government transactions. So kung sakali po na sila po ay sasali, ay baka magkaroon po ng conflict of interest. Sapagkat kung ipagbibili po under public bidding ang welfare bill property, sila po ay kasali at sila rin po ang mag-i-examine kung sakasakali ng nasabing transaction. Ang DSWD po ay nagpadala po ng kanilang position paper para sa ating Honorable Committee for its kind consideration, at kami po ay magbibigay po ng buong suporta sa nasabing House Bills. Lamang po, meron lang po kaming mga ilang recommendation tungkol po dito. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Lucky of the SWD, we now hear from DNR, Land Management Bureau.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, Madam Chair, we will present a profile of the property on the survey and mapping of the welfare bill property to apprise the committee of the situation. So, we're showing the vicinity map of the Welfareville property located in Barangay Addition Hills at Mauway of Mandaluyong City. And the slide is based on satellite imagery on April 17, 2024, showing the landmarks near the property. So that's the red polygon is the Welfareville property. So next slide, we just enlarged the vicinity map to show the structures, the imagery inside the property. So you can see that it's very dense. And then next slide. As stated, this is a government property, previously insular government of the Philippines, consisting of about 111.1429 hectares. It is composed of 23 parcels of land covered by 15 land titles. But in 2003, based on the survey and platting done by Land Management Bureau, there were only 11 titles consisting of 14 lots. Next slide. So this is the breakdown of the 15 titles covering the 23 lots based on the SWD records. But upon platting, those in red at the last column, we were able to determine that these are lots outside of the Welfareville property, but still owned by the Republic of the Philippines. So you can see, Madam Chair, that there are titles that consist of three lots, or even the one title consisting of many lots. So that's why, and those in red, all are outside of Welfareville property. Next slide. So these are the breakdown of the 11 titles covering the 14 lots. We just indicated the structures within per title, Madam Chair. So it's a breakdown, but it was already mentioned what facilities these are mentioned already by our Honorable Congressman Gonzales. So we also showed the area per title. Okay. Next slide is a continuation of the 11 titles. You would note, Madam Chair, we have naka-red yung additional government facilities that we had previously was not included in the list. But based on the ocular inspection, merong mga bagong facilities po. So those in red are just some of the facilities mentioned.
Yung taken by informal settlers, maliit lang. Parang wala pang 10 hectares. Ganun ba? Dito sa ano mo?
Ma'am, we had no definite area.
Ayan, no, nakalagay informal settlers 6,000. And then informal settler 1,000. Doon sa isa 50,000, which is 5 hectares. Wala pang 6 hectares yan. Sa informal settlers. Out of the 100, tama ba yan?
So far, Madam Chair, this is the indicative area because wala pa po kaming actual survey ng areas occupied. As shown in the platting, in the polygon.
Ano itong i-describe mong to?
Those are just the indicative
So
based on the title, ma'am.
So we cannot follow this kasi parang imposible sa dami ng informal settler 6 hectares lang yung kanila, di ba? The rest, like for example, Jose Pabella, 177,000, that's 18 hectares. Tapos yung DSWD, almost 5 hectares. National Center for Mental Health, 300, that's 380,000, that's 38 hectares. Parang ang laki-laki nung sa government, tapos yung sa informal settler, maliit. Parang mali.
Actually, ma'am, makikita nyo ho doon sa ano nila yung pinakita nilang yung mapa. makikita na kaagad doon yung kulay green, bakante yun. Yung hindi, yung panay bubong yun. So, definitely, it cannot be 6 hectares only, Madam Chair.
That's why. Yes.
Just a clarification, what we're showing is the area of the title per technical description, but we just
still
indicated
110 hectares, di ba? Parang yung mga pinipinpoint nyo. Yes, Mayor Abalos.
Ma'am, aside from all these institutions, mga nandoon na ngayon, practically covered na lahat ng informal centers. Wala halos na parati mo doon, wala na. As a matter of fact, when I assumed office in 1986, I requested that we be the one to protect the property from the entries of additional centers. Ang sabi ng DSWD, no, we have our own blue guards. Kasi then, napuno ho yan At totoo yan Para silang mga daga nung araw Nakakawa ho wala silang daan. Pupunta ka from one area to the other, magdadaan ka sa mga banggirahan ng mga tao. Well, the fact that the government allowed them to stay there, we made the place at least for human beings to stay. Binigyan namin sila ng mga pailaw. If you don't mind, ma'am, may I proceed?
Yeah.
At totoo yan Ngayon nagpapasalamat to kami kay Congressman Boyet Gonzales. Finally, yung pangarap ng bawat isang taga-welfare bill, yung takot nila, na baka bukas ay makawala ho sila, na wala yung agam-agam na yan. Tungkol ho dito sa sinasabi nating public bidding, I just want to remind everybody here that there is already an amendment on the law. As early as 2007, ma'am, hindi ho ba? Napag-usapan na ho yan. When there is a disposition of a government property to the residents, informal centers therein, hindi kailangan ng public bidding. Kung ano ang sinasaad ng COA, yan ang masusunod. Kaya nga po, sabi ko nga ho salamat po kay Congressman, at ito ay magkakatotoo ng pangarap ng mga mamayan. Tungkol sa public bidding again, napag-usapan po yan, authored by then Marcoleta, Congressman Marcoleta, sila Pingoy, and Benel Abalos Jr. Sinahin ng Presidente GMA sometimes on 2007, hindi kailangan ang public bidding on the disposition of government properties for the informal sectors. Ngayon, ang tungkol ho naman dito, that is why I said, I would like to know the planners of the government. Kung ano po sana, alam ho ninyo, Mandaluyong is only 1,114 hectares. Alisin natin ang welfare bill, alisin natin ang ADB, which is 6 hectares, alisin natin ang wakwak, is not industrial, is not commercial, is not residential. Ano matitira sa Mandaluyong? About 900 hectares. Alisin po rito ang open spaces, ang kalsada, and all the schools, compound, itong mga simbahan. Ano natira sa Mandaluyong? Only about 800 hectares. That is Mandaluyong. As a matter of fact, sayang yung mga facilities ng government dyan. If we could only house them on a building, pag sama-samahin niya, pwede Let us maximize the use of an area. Sabi po, uulitin ko, kamukha ho nitong maganda ho, si Congressman ho, nagpagawa ng mga eskwela para yung mga mamamayan namin, hindi na naglalakad, hindi na ng malayo. However, if our people would be confined in one area, napapayagan o baka hindi makayang bilhin ho ng lahat, ililipat natin yung mga eskwela na yan doon. So, I would like to know, yung plano ho ba? What is the plan? If you want to hahati-hatiin natin yung mga lupa for all the residents. Naku, maraming salamat po, pero I don't think we can do it considering na napakarami na po nilang tao and everybody would not be accommodated. Yan po lang ang aking masasabi. Salamat po.
Madam Chairman. Yung nabanggit po ni Mayor Ben na yung Odahalo na inament. Totoo yun, pero ang problema ho, that's the general law. It's the law that applies to all government properties. No? And unfortunately for the welfare bill properties, it's governed by a special law, which is that applies only specifically to the welfare bill properties na ang mandate is you can only sell it through public bidding. So kahit noong dumating kami, no nasa house kami at ang chairman po nun si Mayor Albi Benitez, nabanggit din ho yan yung HODC law. Sabi baka hindi na kailangan. Sabi ko, ang problema namin palagi is yung opinion na hindi pwede. In fact, that opinion is strengthened by the opinion of the latest Secretary of Justice na iisa lang ang pamamaraan ng kaya ang welfare bill properties po it's not covered by the HODC law. Yun ang so far as sa pag-aayos siguro we can if we approve House Bill 428, meron man ho provision dun that what are the powers of the trustee committee to be tasked in doing siguro we can already include some of part of their powers kung paano yung development ng area na yon. But ang pinakamahalaga lang ho, mawala talaga sa mandate ng 5260 na kailangan sa pamamagitan lang ng public bidding na mapapasa kanila. Kasi hanggat nadyan ho yung provision na yan, talagang walang pag-asa ho yung mga tao na yan.
Salamat sa clarification, Congressman.
Thank you very much. We now hear, so we now just to hear from DSUD and DOJ, and then we will refer this to a technical working group to the details kasi maraming aayusin. Kasi miski yung plano mali. Sige, DSUD.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po at good morning to our resource persons and our honorable congressman and mayor and former congresswoman and sa ating mga kasama ngayon. On behalf of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, we interpose no objection. Actually, we welcome this bill because matagal na rin po namin tinitingnan ng welfare bill at matagal na rin po namin gustong ipa-develop. Unfortunately, because of the legal impediments surrounding it, it's become difficult for us to really touch and look into how to develop this bill. On that note, Madam Chair, we submitted our position paper and it's actually more on small comments subject to style on the wording of the bill, particularly on Section 4, nandun po nakasulat na please indulge me for a second. Nandun po nakasulat na Section 4, the trustee committee. Ang wording pa po doon, ma'am, is the chairperson of the HODC. So wala na pong HODC, so papalitan po na po sana natin sa Secretary ng Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. So maliliit lang po yung comments namin. Moving forward po, the department is committed naman to extend any assistance to the LGU as we see that the LGU is the more likely entity and the more prudent entity to be able to give us the development direction of welfare bill, and we are more than happy to extend any assistance and any support that we can give through our department. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair.
Ma'am, may I, ma'am?
Very much, Asek Sambar. Yeah. Yes.
Along this time, sir, lumapit po sa akin, nakausap po kami ni General Katapang. Kasi, ngayon po ang correctional is moving out. Nagpapagawa na sila ng area ng mga kung where to relocate ang kanilang mga inmates. Tama ho ba? And by 2028, I understand, mawawala na ang correctional. However, sabi ko nga, pwede na natin ito isama sa development plan sa ibibigay natin. In the meantime, ang mental hospital po hindi pa sila handa. I understand. Kaya nga, i-separate muna natin ito sa plano natin. Kausap ko nga ho si Secretary Acusar. Ang sabi nga niya sa akin, tama, yung mga institution niya sa loob ng welfare bill, yung government institutions, pwede naman natin i-high-rise na lamang sila para kahit na paano, ma-save natin yung mga ibang spaces. I hope sa mga plano pong gagawin ninyo, makasama po kami. Pero,
Term yun po kasi wala naman pera gobyerno para ipagawa kayo lahat ng opisina na bago, diba? So this is the long-term plan. But in the meantime, para naman yung mga informal settler nyo maging hindi sila natetense kasi nakikita ko po yan miski sa amin pag nagagawa ng plano natetense yung mga informal settler at saka kung ano-anong chismis ang lumalabas to the detriment of everybody. Kaya siguro gumawa tayo ng plano and then may long term, may short term, diba? Okay. So, pakinggan natin ang DOJ.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning, everyone. The DOJ interposes no objection to the proposed bills as these intend to amend Section 1 of RA number 5260 to permit the direct negotiated sale of the welfare bill properties to the informal settlers actually inhabiting therein, as well as exempt lands occupied by educational institutions. With the amendment of Section 1 of RA number 5260, this will address the issues or concerns raised in the DOJ opinions. Madam Chair, aside from the CIW, there is an area in the welfare bill property occupied by the DOJ's Interagency Committee Against Trafficking, which is the tahanan ng Iyong Pag-asa or TIP Center, which is located at the Sanctuary Center of Welfareville, which serves as the first Ayakat shelter and one-stop shop that caters to victims of human trafficking. And in this regard, we suggest that this area occupied by the Ayakat TIP Center be included in the exemption from the sale of the welfare bill property. Thank you.
Ano naman ang problema dyan kasi they have accepted that the land occupied by government should be given to the government to give service to the people.
Yung sinasabi po ng taga-DOJ yung tahanan ng Pag-asa, it's already part of the proposed amendment that I intend to, we have already submitted to the Secretariat, ma'am.
Wala naman tayong yes.
opo niyan, yari na po yung building. Meron na po kami pinagawa niyan. Yung mga biktima ng mga yes, meron na tayo.
Problema yung mga government institution na nasa loob ng welfare bill. Of course, priority kayo, di ba? Kasi owned by the government yung welfare bill. But we just want na yung mga available ng lots for the informal settler, tulungan na ng DSUD na ma-distribute na sa kanila para maayos. Kasi minsan, pag walang plano, walang kalye. Oo. So, paggawa ng plano, parang gagawa ng subdivision plan na may kalye. And then yung kalye, papagawa na lang ng congressman, ng senator, ng mayor. Diba? Para wala ng gastos. Diba? Tapos sila, they will take care of the dun sila lilipat sa kanilang 30 square meter, di ba? Kasi we have done that in so many of the places in our city. Oo, naintindihan namin kayo eh. Ang gulo-gulo eh. Tapos ang dami-daming chismis. Kaya pag gumawa tayo ng plano, masisettle na yan, chismis na yan. Kasi palagi na lang tinatakot na gigibain sila. Sabi ko sa kanila, hoy, may linalo na you don't leave the place without suitable relocation relocation. That's the Lina law. Huwag nilang tatakutin kasi miski kaming private developer, we follow the Lina law. We provide suitable relocation. At kung hindi mo kayang magbigay ng suitable relocation, pagpili mo na lang yung property sa kanila para matapos na problema, di ba? Kasi talagang it's a problem in the Philippines. We've been solving that problem all those years na hindi natatapos. So kung ikaw ay bibili ng property at hindi mo kayang bantayan na hindi mapuntahan na informal settler, huwag ka nang bumili ng property. Kasi talagang pag nakarating sila doon, they cannot be demolished without suitable relocation under our laws. So,
May I say something again? Again ho, salamat. Mawawala ng agam-agam ng aming mga kababayan taga-welfare bill na sila ay mapapaalis. And thank you for the big heart of our chairperson, especially also to our congressman who has authored this bill. Salamat po in behalf of all the residents of welfare bill.
I would like to thank our resource person and guests to have shared valuable information and views on welfare bill property. We now create a technical working group, yung ating tawag dito, yung aming COMSEC, at saka yung aming chief of staff, at saka yung mga tayo, and then of course the national institutions na DOJ, DNR, the SHUD, and the DSWD at saka lahat ng nakatira doon na mga government institution para paggawa ng plano, we agree na ano ang maiiwan sa inyo, ano ibibigay natin doon sa informal settlers para matapos na lahat ng problema natin, di ba? So with that, in the meantime, we are suspending this meeting. We are serving food pala for you. Okay? Alam nyo naman, mahal na mahal ko itong Mandaluyong eh. May bahay ako dito eh. May bahay kami dyan, tsaka may dalawa kaming mall dyan eh.
Sila unang nagpatayo ng mall sa Mandaluyong eh.
Thank you very much, and we are serving food. Hintayin nyo lang. And then thank you to Mayor Abalos and former Representative Gonzales and the now Representative Neptali Gonzales. Alam nyo, 9 na taon ako sa ito, majority floor leader namin eh. Kaya marunong yan sa legislation. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, sana po mag-create na tayo kagad ng committee sana po mag-create na kagad tayo ng committee para po maayos na natin.
Bill number 2878.
Any objection? There being none, motion's approved.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you, Minority Leader. Thank you. Salamat.
Mr. President, I move that we proceed to reference of business.
Secretary, please read the reference of business.
Second edition of reference of business, committee reports. Committee report 425, jointly by the Committees on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality and Finance, so Senate number 2896, with Senator Ontiveros as author. An act providing for the Magna Carta of Children, recommending its approval in substitution of Senate number 2612, sponsor Senator Ontiveros.
To the calendar for ordinary business.
Committee report 426, jointly by the Committees on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality and Justice and Human Rights, so Senate number 2897, with Senators Villar C., Padilla, and Ontiveros as authors. An act amending Republic Act number 11313, otherwise known as the Safe Spaces Act and for other purposes. Recommending its approval in substitution of Senate numbers 2232 and 2810, sponsor Senator Ontiveros.
To the calendar for ordinary business.
427, by the Committee on Public Services and House number 10926, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to the Manila Electric Company under Republic Act number 9209. An act granting the Manila Electric Company a franchise to construct, operate, and maintain a distribution system for the conveyance of electric power to the end users in the cities, municipalities of Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, and Rizal, and certain cities, municipalities, barangays in Batangas, Laguna, Quezon, and Pampanga. Recommending its approval with amendments taken into consideration Senate numbers 2824 and 2876, sponsor Senator Villanueva.
To the calendar for ordinary business.
428, by the Committee on Justice and Human Rights, so Senate number 2898, with Senators Escudero and Pimentel III as authors. An act liberalizing the lease of private lands by foreign investors, establishing the stability of long-term lease contracts, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 7652, otherwise known as the Investors Lease Act. Recommending its approval in substitution of Senate numbers 27